Got some good jazz going here. Welcome to my kitchen. You're in the kitchen with KK for another fun episode of taking the power of food and reclaiming your empowerment over your health right here. Health starts in the kitchen. What are we going to do today? Listen, the kids are home from school, most of them, and maybe they like to bake or they're going to require some treats at home. You can get them involved. This is a super easy double chocolate cookie. And it's removing, as you know, I like to remove all of the potential allergens, things that cause inflammation in the body, but also things that can excite pathogens and cause those reactions. We call them allergies. They're really a reaction in the body, or we're feeding pathogens and it's causing issues. So we're just cleaning things up so that we can reclaim our vitality and keep it, and also make healthier treats. We need healthier treats because we all require rewards. And out in the market, you are not going to find what you can create at home. Very simple. You get to control all the ingredients. So my name is Kimberly Knox, and I have a passion to build people's reverence for food and to allow them to be empowered. I'm an integrative and functional health coach. We get to the root cause of disease, and what we're finding is that diet, mostly diet, the foods you're eating are causing more than 90% of the disease that's out there. So it's fully in our hands. And we can reclaim that just like I did over 12 years ago. In just as little as 3 days, saw things super change. And it really allowed me to understand just how important food is. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put together the dry ingredients. Now, I did a recipe way back. It was chocolate lava logs. It was probably it was around the holidays, I remember, because I gave it away as gifts. And I was comparing cacao with carob. So I have a whole container here of carob. I bought some wholesale from a friend of mine that does a lot of business, starting way back, one of the very first energy treats guys. So carob is going to provide a chocolate flavor without getting so much bitterness of cacao. But cacao has got amazing qualities of nutrients, such as magnesium, which is going to be higher than the carob. Let me just see what else. But cacao is going to be higher in iron and copper and magnesium, just like I said. But it's got a natural bitter and caffeine. Now, this is not always okay for people, but what I thought is genius. Let's combine them in this recipe. Because carob's got its own unique flavor. So we're going to do this. This is higher in fiber. So carob is higher in fiber. It uses D-phenyl, which is that's how it's going to deliver the energy into the cell. So it's involved in keeping things stable. It's like a legume, actually. And it's going to be higher in folate, which we need, and also higher in calcium. These are really great items. So let's get this combined. This is a super fun, easy recipe. I've made it several times to test it out, and made a few changes to that. And first of all, let's get the chocolate stuff. We're going to mix the dry ingredients. The only dry ingredient I forgot was the almond flour. So one pause here, and we'll get the almond flour. And I could have just let you watch me go to my organized cabinet. But before we do that, we're going to make a flax egg because we are removing eggs as well. Not that eggs are bad for everyone. However, some allergy tests or other things show, and they've been shown to feed certain things such as Epstein-Barr. They could aggravate shingles. So you know what? Let's remove them. I'm going to show you how you can do it. 1 heaping tablespoon of flax is mixed with 3 tablespoons of filtered water, and we're going to set it aside. It gets nice and thick. Flaxseed is filled with omega-3s and a good amount of fiber. So it's wonderful to have in our toolbox to use. I use flax a lot in smoothies, overnight oat recipes. Give this a little stir. So this is going to be thickening. while we put together the dry ingredients here. We're going to mix up the dry ingredients, then the wet, and then we just add them and we're done. This recipe is super easy. We've got the parchment paper over here and the cookie sheet. So we're going to take a 1/4 cup of both the carob. You don't have to shave it off all the way. It doesn't have to be perfect. So don't worry about that. You're not going to change it. So just, I think this is a 1/4 cup measure I have in here. Yeah. So just kind of level that off. So we got a 1/4 cup of raw cacao and carob. You can buy carob on Amazon and you can keep it like I do. You know that I made those carob lava logs with dates. I love dates as a recipe, in recipes as a natural sugar. It's very, very positive for your body. And so now we're going to add in 1 cup of almond flour. I'm going to top this off a bit. Cups. Oh my gosh. I need to get the arrowroot too. I decided to add arrowroot to this after I wrote the recipe because arrowroot's really good for helping to hold together almond flour. It's in my double chocolate, my $1 million chocolate chip cookie recipes. Here, so you will watch me go to my cabinet because I'm going to get arrowroot. And we put it in a bowl. I use a little fork just to get the pieces, the big clumps of the almond flour broken down here. That way you don't have to use any other type of machines. Just use your fork. Make it easy. If kids are going to be making this recipe, you want to keep it as easy as possible. Let me grab the arrowroot. Got 2 chocolate chips we're putting in. It'll be super fun. We're going to use 1.5 tablespoons of arrowroot. The last time I made it, I used 2 tablespoons. I thought it was a little bit too much, so we're going to cut it back to 1.5. So that just helps to stiffen up the almond flour since it's almonds. Now, what is great about almond flour? You're getting protein, you're getting fiber, you're getting very low carbs because it's a nut, right? And you're not getting any gluten. This is fully going to be gluten-free as well. It's going to be egg-free. And they're absolutely delicious. It's amazing. And they're super fun. We're going to roll them into easy balls. All right, so now we're going to get baking soda in, 1/2 teaspoon. I like, and I'm encouraging people to invest in aluminum-free baking soda. So you can buy Bob's Red Mill. You can still buy the other aluminum, and you can still buy the other baking soda boxes to put in the refrigerator. But for baking, I prefer this one. So why not? You're worth it. You're worth. And that's about 1/4 teaspoon. This is the real salt. This is sea salt loaded with the minerals. Okay, our dry ingredients are all together in a bowl. So this is super easy. Any kid can do it. Now, normally in a recipe, you'd whip together butter. We're not putting butter in here. And so there's no dairy. We're going to be using coconut oil. No, I know Medical Medium loves coconut oil in a lot of his recipes. It's a different type of oil. It started to, that kind of oil is starting to be digested. It's a little easier on the liver. And let me just make sure I remember exactly how much I put in. Okay, just 1/4 cup actually, which is great. And I just had the 1/4 cup measure out. Here it is. It's melted already because it's a little warm here in the kitchen. Okay, we're putting this in. Now, whenever I used to make recipes as a kid, the butter would go in first. We'd let it get softened and you would cream it with the butter. Well, we're going to do the same thing, but we're using the oil. It's fine. Simple. I am using coconut sugar. Coconut sugar is a naturally more low glycemic alternative. It's not white sugar, and we're using less than normal. We're only using 1/2 cup, which is perfect. And we don't need as much. Remember, I could probably even use a little bit less, but we don't need as much because the bitterness is going to be cut in half because we're using part carob. Now we're blending the benefits of both the carob and the cacao, which is pretty exciting actually. So great option there. So now just with a simple spoon, just let your kids get used to using this. They don't need to use beaters, and they definitely don't need to use some big contraption with some on it. Just let them use a bowl. In fact, I prefer to use this myself. So I'm just going to blend this together real nice. Okay, 1 teaspoon, 1 full teaspoon of vanilla. Love Madagascar vanilla, pure. You are going to pay more for it, but you're going to love it. It is pure and amazing. When I made the chocolate lava log, getting a vanilla bean and cooking those dates down in water in the vanilla bean, that vanilla in the house is incredible. It's not an artificial vanilla scent. It is real vanilla, and you can just put it in a baggie and reuse it. Just fantastic. So sugar and vanilla, that's a really powerfully beautiful combination for the brain to take in. So already we're starting to stimulate that reward center in our brain because it's remembering all the other yumminess from that, just that scent alone. Now our flax egg has gotten stiff already and thickened, so that's what we want. Just get this in here. Super easy mixture. Beautiful. What else? That's actually it for the wet stuff. So now what we're going to do is we're going to toss in the dry stuff in 2 steps. That just gives you or your kids a couple extra chances to get this stirred in nice without stuff flying all over the place. Okay. Tap the rest of it. Pretty easy, huh? I'm going to use the back of my spoon to start blending the wet with the dry. I want this to be this is going to be a little bit stiff because we're actually going to chill it just for a few minutes in the refrigerator while we clean up before we make the balls. The balls are really simple to make because of the way this is, it holds together really well because of the carob, by the way. It's just smelling really good. Now, so with dough that has no raw eggs, you don't have to worry about your kids tasting it. That's a huge plus. So let me get this into the refrigerator, and I'm going to show you the chips that we're going to put in, 2 different types. Really exciting. These are both high quality, but you're worth it. So let me get cleaned up and we'll be right back. Everything is tidied up. You can teach your children that creating an organized space helps them to feel in control, and it's a good idea to pick up. So this was only in there a little bit. It's perfect. Now we're going to be adding the chips. So here, you've seen me talk about Pasha brand. I keep this one in here, but Pasha brand chips. High quality. You can get a discount when you go online. These are the ones I've been using for the last 7 years. They used to sell them at Whole Foods. I have to buy them on Amazon now. But I use 100% raw cacao. I don't need extra sugar in here. I've got the sugar. The dopamine you're going to get from that straight chocolate, all clean. But what you can do for fun for kids, and I do add these to my $1 million chocolate chip cookies, is I add the Hue brand gems. So these are amazing as well. Dark chocolate here, organic paleo, no added cane sugar. Fantastic. So these are going to give you a nice big pop. So basically just a quarter cup of each is all you really need in here. Go ahead, add just a few more of your favorites. It's okay. Have a few while you're snacking here. And I think Hugh also makes chips, but I like those gems because they're really big. And then we just need a quarter cup of the all 100% raw cacao. These are great for adults. Even when you're fasting and you need a little, you can eat some raw cacao. It doesn't break your fast as far as I know, in my experience, but it will give you a little stimulant because raw cacao does have the caffeine, just like I said, and carob does not. That's why it's really great to mix them and understand the benefits of each. The nervous system does get tweaked with too much caffeine. Anyway, enough on that. Here's your cookie, double chocolate with amazing chips in here. I just use a teaspoon, old school, and you're going to turn these. And because the carob, see how nice, really quickly you can make these into a ball. So I'm going to go through and do them all. We'll be back when I'm all done. Just a teaspoon. They're all around the same size. And it doesn't leave anything on your hands. And that's particularly because the carob and the coconut oil and everything mixed together, see, it's nice and clean. So your kids are not going to get all messy. And it does make really nice balls, which you can just tap down. It makes a nice, perfectly shaped cookie. So I'm going to do all these and I'll be right back. All set. It's going to make between 12 and 15, depending on size. If you are doing a dinner party, why not make bigger cookies? Okay, squish them down a little. You have a nice big double chocolate cookie for after dinner. We're going to cook for only 11 minutes. It's fantastic. Okay, we'll see you back here. I'm so thrilled you're joining me today. I'm very humbled that so many people are checking this out and just having fun here with me. Let me know where you're from. I love it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Timer's up. Let's get these babies out. Looking fantastic. So what I love about this cookie sheet is you just take this, you pull it straight off, right onto the granite, which is great for baking, cooking, whatever. Do not care for quartz. Really not practical. And the exchange is going to happen immediately. It's going to start to absorb that. They're going to cool really nice right here, so you don't have to even get out of rack. We're going to let these cool. Now, what I did get out is a little container. A lot of people live by themselves, or maybe it's just a husband and wife, or maybe it's just a small family. You don't need all these out. You can put some into the freezer. These are great to have 2 of them after dinner or 2 for a treat. I give them as little gifts to people that I cook for, and they will really appreciate them because you're not going to feel all the extra inflammatory oils and stuff. You're going to get a good cookie that's going to stimulate the dopamine, and that's what we're after. We're after a reward and lighting up that reward center. So I'll get these cool, put them on a plate. We'll be right back. So thanks for staying to the end. I hope that you decide to give me a thumbs up. Maybe share this with somebody who loves to cook or somebody with a family that's got kids home so they can make this easy recipe. Here we go, ready in no time. These are genius. They're a little bit hard on the outside and they're nice and moist on the inside, which is perfect. We've got 8 of them in here, a little bit of wax paper. You just put the top on and you are ready to go. Always thinking about prepping when we're cooking. Thanks for joining me today in KK's Big Kitchen. Have an excellent day and a high vitality day. Bye, guys.